Shout out to Christine Brennan. Team USA, y'all need to stop playing. Hold on, wait a second. Y'all will recognize and appreciate Caitlin Clark as the face of this whole get up. Nobody's checking for these other, no disrespect. Great basketball players. That don't mean people checking for you. You mean to tell me y'all put other people's face all on the Team USA stuff and y'all left Caitlin Clark off of it?
Look at that reaction. That's not disappointment. That's pure shock. USA Basketball just dropped its promotional graphic for the December training camp, and the biggest star in women's basketball is nowhere to be found. Not tucked in a corner. Not in tiny print. Not even a silhouette. Completely gone. This is the same player who single-handedly boosted WNBA ratings by over 400% in her rookie year. The same athlete whose jersey outsold the entire league combined. And somehow, she didn't make the cut for a simple promo. And while Jackie Young, Kelsey Plum, and Kalia Copper were front and center like nothing was off, and notice when the news dropped, right at midnight on a Friday, thanks to veteran reporter Christine Brennan, who's been covering Olympic basketball since 1984. And when you saw her reaction, you knew instantly how big this bombshell was.
Out promoting women's basketball, bring new fans in, and get unprecedented attention for a team that dropped in TV viewership at the Paris Olympics. That's right, the women's USA viewership dropped at the Olympics in Paris. Nobody was watching it. They would have added the photo of one of the player to this graphic, but
because here's the part that makes this whole thing impossible to defend, the women's team at the Paris Olympics saw its lowest viewership in years. Brennan says casual fans had zero reason to tune in. Hardcore fans showed up, sure, but that big mainstream audience, the crowd advertisers depend on, vanished. Now compare that to Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Her games averaged 1.2 million viewers on cable. Every arena she played in turned into a spectacle. Cities that normally struggle to fill half their seats were suddenly selling out weeks in advance. Media, fans, global attention, everyone wanted to see her. USA Basketball saw that entire season unfold.
I've given it, as you know, over the last 60 hours. I broke the news right around midnight, Friday to Saturday morning. And I think on both fronts, merit and publicity, you of course mentioned it, you know, it's just a total swing and a miss by the national governing body, by USA Basketball, just a missed opportunity. And but I'll start with my answer by saying I have covered this.
They watched the ratings surge. They watched merch sell out. They watched international reporters fly to Indiana just to cover a rookie guard. And after all that, they still left her out of the promotional graphic for a training camp. Let that sink in. Brennan even described the Olympic media section as so empty she used the word tumbleweeds. This is for a team that hasn't lost an Olympic game since 1992. 7 straight gold medals.
On that team, the team that so richly deserves attention and doesn't get it and won't get it without her. Because there's just so much going on in an Olympics. On that same day, there probably will be 30 other gold medals given out, and sports editors and others have to make a decision. Do you go to Simone Biles? Do you go to women's soccer? Where do you go? It's not, you know, there's just too much going on. You put Caitlin Clark on that team, and every single one of those guys that can't stay.
One of the greatest dynasties in sports history, men's or women's. Yet journalists aren't even showing up anymore because their editors don't see the value. And here's the twist. That changed in 2024. The same journalists who ignored the WNBA for years were suddenly fighting for press passes to the Indiana Fever. International outlets were sending reporters to Indianapolis just to cover Caitlin Clark. Brennan even mentions a British journalist who planned his entire Olympic schedule around her. The interest was real. The global momentum was undeniable. And instead of riding that wave, USA Basketball turned away from it. Again, they defended their Olympic roster snub by saying they were honoring veterans and protecting chemistry, even as the sport experienced the biggest surge in worldwide attention in its entire history.
To Rich, how the men's team, how that grew basketball around the world, especially for boys and men, and where it reached Africa. Well, the opportunity with Caitlin Clark's popularity, Africa, Europe, Asia. Think of how many number 22 USA jerseys would have been sold. Money that could have then been pumped back in to help have development.
And then Brennan compared this moment to the 1992 Dream Team. And she's right. Before '92, international basketball wasn't a global entertainment product. Broadcast deals weren't massive. Kids around the world weren't dreaming about basketball careers. One iconic Olympic team changed everything. Caitlin Clark represents that same opportunity for the women's game. A number 22 USA jersey would sell in countries where women's basketball doesn't even exist. She could inspire young girls, and boys, on every continent. The financial ripple effects alone could reshape the sport, but instead of embracing that, USA Basketball chose short-term comfort over long-term growth.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Christine Brennan gets it. Christine Brennan gets it. Regardless how you feel about her, she's been on this stuff from the beginning. Caitlin Clark got disrespected by Team USA when they had her coming off the bench when she was, 17? Y'all had her coming off the bench behind Haley Van Lith. Like, what are y'all talking?
And here's what makes Brennan's criticism hit harder than anyone else's. She's not a YouTuber looking for clicks. She's been at every Olympics since 1984. She's watched gold medal games in half-empty arenas. She knows exactly how much the women's program struggles for attention. So when she says USA Basketball misread this moment, she's speaking from decades of experience, and the proof is right in front of them. The December 12th training camp hasn't even started. The promo graphic isn't an official roster announcement. It's not a press conference. It's literally a picture for practice, and it sparked international headlines. Brennan casually mentioning her interview with a radio station in New Zealand tells you everything you need to know. This story is global. Her absence alone is news.
Say when they had her coming off the bench when she was, 17? Y'all had her coming off the bench behind Haley Van Lith. Like, what are y'all talking about? This stuff has been going on far too long. Team USA, y'all need to get it together. Respect the woman with the throne. Get down in the comments, let me know what you think.
Now let's get to the deeper issue. This isn't the first time USA Basketball has mishandled Caitlin Clark. When she was 17, playing for the junior national team, she wasn't even a starter. She came off the bench while Haley Van Lith got the lead role. Think about that. The player who would shatter Pete Maravich's 54-year scoring record wasn't even considered starting material, and this isn't hindsight. Even at 17, she had elite vision, unlimited shooting range, and generational instincts. Anyone watching could see her talent, except, apparently, the people making decisions at USA Basketball, which brings us back to why this graphic matters. It's not a one-time mistake. It's a pattern. A long, consistent pattern of undervaluing the one player who has transformed the sport more than anyone in the last 20 years. Remember their own mission statement: winning medals is only half the job. Growing the sport is the other half. By every measure, Caitlin Clark is the most valuable growth engine women's basketball has ever had. She brought millions of new fans into the WNBA, she boosted league revenue, she inspired kids everywhere, she made women's basketball must-watch TV, the league's new CBA, higher salaries, better benefits, more money, happened because they finally had numbers to prove the sport was growing. Those numbers came from her impact. Every player, even her rivals, benefited financially because of the attention she brought. And yet USA Basketball still refuses to embrace what's working. As they look toward the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, the choice is simple: adapt to the moment or keep repeating failures. LA will be a massive opportunity, packed arenas, primetime coverage, huge international interest, but momentum doesn't carry itself. The millions of casual fans who discovered the women's game because of Caitlin Clark need a reason to stay connected. They need to see the star who brought them into the sport showcased, not hidden. If USA Basketball continues sidelining her, on rosters, in promos, in visibility, those new fans won't stick around. And once momentum is gone, it doesn't come back. What happened in 2024 was lightning in a bottle, a generational talent, a perfect storyline, and a media landscape hungry for something fresh. USA Basketball can either build on that momentum or waste it. Right now, they're wasting it. They're clinging to internal politics, outdated traditions, and loyalty to veterans instead of embracing the future. The sport finally has its turning point. But USA Basketball is stuck in the past.